Hey there, if you are ready to save a bundle, I have a kicker for you. And obviously, I don't want to be one that throws some shiny balls your way, but sometimes you just got to take a look at them because they do look very pretty. And so if you take a look at the layout right now, the layout that you're seeing here is almost identical to Live Good. And I am all in Live Good, 100%. I will tell anyone about Live Good till the end of days. I think it's amazing. And as a little bird has told me, basically the owners of Live Good are pretty much responsible for this. They are not the ones promoting it, they're not the ones building it, but are they on the back end of it? Possibly. I don't know. Don't quote me on it. But every single thing in this setup, the platform, the format, the way that the compensation plan is, it is very, very, very close and similar to what you would see in the Live Good members area. And so at first I was not really thinking that I was going to do this, and I kept looking at it and seeing other people that were getting involved. And so, it doesn't hurt to try things out and to test things out. All you got to do is pre-enroll for free. You can see yourself. But if you watch this video, I have some amazing news here for those of you that want to align with me and get in first and in the beginning because it is so new. Now, if you think about Live Good launched really in 2020. That's when they created their company, and they just really started small with a couple products, and they had a very small group of people, so that by the time December 2022 came around, then they actually launched and opened up their power line. That's when things started to explode, and they were putting in 100,000 people every month. Well, we are seeing the same exact growth here with the Save Club. And one of the cool things this time is that I was able to align with a person that is a very, very big marketer. And you may see his name here in a little bit when we get into the leaderboard. Well, I have one of his very, very top spots. And so what that means, we are in the first week or weeks, depending on when you're seeing this. It is April 24th, 2025. Tomorrow night is when the matrix will fill. Okay, anyone that has been in the power line and is upgraded to their membership will be placed strategically, and basically they will get the highest position possible in their team based on how they were aligned in the power line. But also it's dependent on when they physically joined as well from week to week. So if someone doesn't upgrade this week, they're stuck back in the power line until next Friday. So if you're seeing this right now and you want to grab a spot and maybe even just do the monthly, if you're not really sure about it, you can always check it out later and upgrade to the annual. I would highly recommend jumping in at the annual because the annual is a little bit different in Save Club than it is in Live Good, in that you can actually earn commissions when people join at that annual year or annual price point. So in order to earn those commissions, you have to be an annual member. If you're not the annual member, what happens is it actually will pass up. So let's say I sponsor Bob, who sponsors Tom, and neither of them do the annual, but then Tom sponsors, Stephanie, and Stephanie comes in at the annual. Well, guess what? That passes up through Tom and Bob and actually goes to me because I'm the next one in the line. So that's a really cool feature that's a little bit different from Live Good. Some of the similarities are obviously the way that the team matrix builds. There is, a similar $20 basically fast start bonus out of the original purchase plan. The price is a little bit more with the Save Club. And so there's obviously going to be some differences because they're not going to make it exactly the same. And so I'm not going to go into the full overview of the comp plan, but I'll hit on a couple parts. I'm just learning this myself as well. And so right now, like I said, you have an opportunity to get in and start saving. So the question is, 4.5 minutes in, hopefully you're still watching, what the heck really is the Save Club? And so Save Club, if we actually click on the deals, I'm gonna close this thing that looks like a little tab there. and just show you how that works. So when I click on my deals here or my deals there, it actually opens up the actual deal website. There is stuff all over the world, from Disney tickets that are reduced. You can get tickets, reductions on, things like your oil changes. You can get free appetizers when you get, an entree. One of the things I was looking at and interested in doing, there was a 30% off, or basically a $30 bonus or discount on a Dave & Buster's card. Go with the girlfriend to play some games and have some fun and entertainment. If you have kids, that's going to be a perfect thing to do. And there are just millions and millions of places. So we have travel, we have parks and tickets, things you can eat, play, and shop. And so even just in my town, and this is, I'm in the Syracuse, New York area. This is not my actual town. I live in a little suburb. But if whatever just probably pulled in by my IP address is the major one. If we just click a search there, you're going to basically start to pull up anything and everything. So notice there's 294 things with automotive. There's 185 with office, car rentals, condo resorts, cruises and tours, dining and food, recreation and entertainment, golf, health and beauty, home and garden, hotels, movies, services, shopping, skiing, snowboarding, and travel. And so there's all different discounts. So for example, Active and Fit Direct, okay, you get a $22 savings. Okay, what others? Aptiv is 60% savings, $10 off your, maybe your order of a minimum amount for advanced auto parts. So for example, if we go down, for example, instant oil change, $10 off that. So that's a pretty good deal. Look at this one, almost $5,000. So if you're going to go to Ford, maybe you go and you get a $5,000 discount on a new vehicle if you're in the realm for a new vehicle. Aunt Annie's Pretzels. Maybe I go to the movie with my girlfriend. There's a Regal Cinema right there. There's another savings. I go to the movies and say, hey, we want to get a pretzel. Basically, buy one, get one free. So if you use some of these a couple times a month, you are going to definitely make up the cost of the actual membership. And so notice there's just pages here that this goes. Someone asked me earlier, I was communicating with someone that I've worked with and communicated with in the past, does it work in Canada? Well, watch this. Here we go. We're going to type in Ontario. Notice Ontario, Canada comes up, and there's a whole bunch of things that show up for Ontario. And I think the other one I tested and looked at earlier was Toronto. And notice we have Mexico come up, and then there's California in different parts. So let's take a look at Mexico here for a second. Obviously, a lot of those will be related to travel and hotels. So these might be perfect. Whether you are in the U.S. or out of the U.S., obviously, if you're in the U.S., this is a perfect opportunity for you. Even if you are out of the United States, you might be traveling to the United States. You might be traveling to another part of the world, and maybe you have the opportunity to reduce your flights, maybe upgrade for a lower price, maybe get better rates on hotels, so on and so forth. So lots of options here for all different countries, and they will, I'm sure, expand as time goes on. So that's a little bit about what it actually is. As far as coming back, a lot of this is the same as far as what we would and what you have previously seen in the Live Good members area. So if you're familiar with Live Good, they come in and you got your enroller tree, you got your, the matrix power line. Like I said, this is just started. Okay, so tomorrow night is actually the first night that people are going to trickle in and start to fill up this matrix. And so, as I said, I have secured one of the very, very top positions near one of the biggest leaders in the industry. And so him and his team, he's also put in a lot of people already in this pre-launch, as have other people. So what you have to remember is people fill the closest available positions that are open in their sponsors matrix. So people have to fill my matrix first, and then all of his other people are going to fill in after that. So there's going to be a lot of overflow that's taking place in the beginning. Okay, now obviously if you were watching this a month from now, 2 months from now, definitely next year, I'm not going to make any guarantees that there's going to be some massive spillover, but in the beginning it is almost guaranteed, and I hardly ever guarantee anything. The only thing I usually ever guarantee is that you won't see any success when you don't take action. So even if you have some spillover, just like in Live Good, in the Live Good platform, you can actually earn commissions at 50 cents a person every single month, starting on the second month, that those people are part of your matrix. And so, there's a promise of earning a certain amount, just like Live Good had. Well, again, I want to point out that that's only if you have a massive number that happens. Well, guess what? The best opportunity to have massive spillover is in the beginning. Okay, so if you are watching this now, if you're doing a little search, if you're contemplating, where to join and who to join, I am here. I'm recommending, and I'm putting a bet on the fact that there is going to be some massive spillover tomorrow night. And so I will be doing a follow-up video on Saturday showing what my matrix went from. So again, it is April 24th, 2025. It is 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Going in and just looking at my email, I want to look and just show you. Okay, so here we go. Save Club, Save Club, Save Club. So we have all these people. Okay, so just pre-enrolled. Jen just pre-enrolled. Jen just joined. Okay, we got Jeremy pre-enrolled, Thomasina pre-enrolled, and then up here, Thomasina joined. I just saw that earlier. We got Melanie joined, or pre-enrolled, Peter pre-enrolled, Cordell pre-enrolled. Ooh, Cordell joined. Okay, so I have some people that have seen the vision. Okay, they know that if they join first or earlier, they're going to be closer to me in my efforts, but also closer to the efforts of our upline. Okay, and so again, if you've been paying attention, I got some great things for you here, and you're going to just love this when you see this, because when we go and we look at that next part, we just saw the referrals, but when we come in, we see my enroller. Well, there he is. Okay, you may be familiar with that guy. He is a beast in the marketing world. And just to show you and prove that to you, let's take a look at the initial leaderboard so far. He has already sponsored 92 people. Again, 92 people. Think about that, okay? Those people have to all fall underneath him. And so right now, if we go back, or I'll open it up in another window, and if we look at my matrix, okay, my first level, second level, third level, that's 2 plus 4 makes 6, plus doubling that, obviously there's 2, 4, 8, whatever. So we got 6, we got another 8. So right there, 6 and 8 is 14. That's not even close to him filling. And I'm going to guess that I'm not going to get all of those people. I'm only going to get a portion of those people. Now, from what I can tell, like I said, I believe I have a very, very top position. We'll find out for sure tomorrow, or Saturday morning, I should say. And in theory, I should get half. Okay? So there, just from one person, there is, 50 or more people going to fall under and fill up all these positions. So obviously, like I said, I've already showed you 4 and mentioned when we went back here, and I mentioned that 4 people joined. Okay, so a couple people have joined and upgraded already. So based on that fact, them being tied to me, okay, they took massive action. They saw that, so they're going to benefit. They're going to be in one of these top rows. Well, guess what? Maybe that's my first 6 people, but even my next 8, if you come in tonight and you're one of the next 8 people, there's still a lot of fun that's going to happen. And so if we go back and look at that leaderboard, I'm almost certain, and I know this for sure, that some of these other people on the leaderboard were also sponsored by Mac. Okay, so there's even going to be more of these people that are following through and going through. And so when we actually look at the whole system already in the beginning, and if we look at my power line, okay, 1,486 members have actually joined. Now, again, I know we're somewhere towards the top because this is just launched and Mac had one of the original positions. Obviously, again, we can never make any income claims, but the best or closest guarantee I can give you at this point is because it is so early in pre-launch. Again, this is in pre-launch, but you can still earn commissions in pre-launch. They are going to really ramp it up, and it's going to be officially live and open on June 1st. And so I believe, right here, June 1st, 2025. However, obviously do your due diligence. All commissions will be paid during pre-launch, starting with our next run on May 2nd. So I'm pretty sure, just like Live Good, anyone that joins in a previous week, you get paid on the following week. So anyone that I sponsor, today and tomorrow, Thursday and Friday, they get placed in the matrix on Friday night. The following Friday is when I will earn those commissions. Now, the key thing then after that is that every month they also, or the second month, I should say, those members have stayed active. Those go into the pools that you earn your matching and your matrix checks on. So there's not going to be a matching or a matrix check in May, but I believe there technically should be one for June, because people would have secured their position in April. They would have been active again in May, so therefore May would be their second month. Now, obviously, some people will be joining in May. The masses are going to be coming to check this out and to see what's going on. So people are joining, in some cases, by the second. And so 1,486 members have joined, but take a look at this number. And it just happened to round up right to 4,800. That was kind of interesting. So 4,800 people are actually pre-enrolled and or joined. Okay, so there's a list of 4,800 people here, and notice all of the reds or oranges are going to be the ones that are actually members, where the pre-enrolled people are going to be the ones that are lighter. So all of these people, and if we just scroll down here, just look at it. There's 11 page. I mean, if we go to page 11, obviously there's 100 on a page. So if I skip to 12, then we'll see page 24. Really, there's 46 pages. I'm going to go to page 22. We'll scroll down. There's another 100 more. Go to page 32. There's another 100. Every page is 100 more. And so people are joining like gangbusters, as they say. And so if we take a look at that leaderboard, again, Mac has put in close to 100 people in just a couple days. Okay, again, this just opened up. And so just a couple days, he's actually done it. And so there are some other leaders here that have come over that are sampling both things. Now, I am full 100% a believer in the fact that you should be able to promote whatever you want, whenever you want. And that's one of the beauties behind Live Good and the Save Club, is that they don't really care. As long as you are doing things ethically and you're not doing anything that's illegal, they want us to be successful. They want us, obviously, to save money, and they want us to use their product. I drink Live Good stuff every single morning. I wear my Live Good t-shirt all the time. I talk about Live Good all the time. I am actively building my Live Good team. Well, guess what? I also want to save some money. I'm a single dad of 3. I have 3 daughters that are all in college or in college level. I'm still paying off a house. I'm, paying off college loans for them, amongst other things, helping them out. And so I want to maximize my potential, because when you think about it, if you're having a conversation with someone, it doesn't matter where you are and who you're talking to, that person could always be considered as a prospect, because as long as you engage with someone and you get to know them a little bit, you might start to figure out or find out what problems they might have, and then be able to offer them a solution. Maybe they want nothing to do with the health industry, and maybe they're a heavy smoker, but maybe they want to save money on products, and they like traveling. Well, boom, here comes Save Club. Maybe they are a smoker and they're like, hey, I want to fix my life and I want to get better and more healthy. Then boom, I mention Live Good to them. Maybe they're like, oh, I don't want anything. I tried, fitness and do this and blah, blah, blah. And, I don't want anything to do that. Well, guess what? I got other things that I've done on the back end that I've been part of for almost 10 years. Okay. I'm a top affiliate. I'm not trying to brag, because I bust my butt and I put a lot of time and effort in. I make a lot of resources. I provide a lot of help. I get on the phone with people. I give, things out to people as bonuses that they can share and they can use. And I create stuff. I make content all over the place on YouTube. You're probably watching this on YouTube right now. Maybe you're watching it on my blog. And so I believe I've earned some of that success. And so I still have those tools and I still have services and software that I use to run my business, whether it's email, whether it's something that I use to host my videos so that ads don't show up on them, okay? Whether it's something that I use to save the data on, save stuff in my pictures and stuff on my phone and my computer. I have all these trainings. Maybe people want to learn how to do attraction marketing. Okay, I have gone through a lot of skill work and skill set improvement myself. I am a teacher by trade. I'm physically still and technically a full-time high school science teacher in New York. Okay, I've been teaching for over 25 years and I have well over 20 years in New York State, obviously working towards retirement and hopefully retiring myself sooner. My girlfriend retires next year and I would love to be able to retire, at least stop teaching with her. But obviously, I want to continue to grow the business. And anywhere that I can access the internet, I have the ability to work with people and help people online. And so if you're ready to join, if you haven't already, if you liked what you've seen already, click the link below, lock in, at least pre-enroll, see the position, come in, take a look at the members area. I'm going to go through a couple more things here. So again, if you want to bear with me, I appreciate you. You've already been here for almost 21 minutes. And so again, like I said, this is very similar in the layout to Live Good if you're familiar with that. So, you're in control. You can see, who your pre-enrollees are, your genealogy. And then if we go over, you can check your membership to see, when it expires, or if you want to upgrade from the monthly into the annual. Like I said, I would recommend that because that opens up another part of the compensation plan that's a little bit different than what Live Good has. Okay, your deals, obviously, you can go and end up and scroll over and see all the stuff that you want to, check out. So, for example, let's say I'm interested in health and beauty, or let's say it's golf. Okay, let's go to golf. Okay, so now we got some different things maybe for golf or that are golf related. Notice, obviously, some of them are probably closed, like Walmart and Land's End, but obviously Golf Galaxy and Top Golf, maybe you get a 15. Let's see what the deal is. Okay, Top Golf, 15 off of Top Golf gameplay. All you would do is click use the coupon. Okay, let me show it or print it. And so I hear my, at this point, I got my name down there, whatever. And then I just bring that code to Top Golf and boom, I got a $15 coupon off of Top Golf. Okay, really, really cool. That almost pays right there for the membership. Okay, just one usage. And obviously, I would recommend looking all the time because you never know what else you're going to find here that you might save some good money on. All right, so obviously your info, you can go in and you can, you'd be creating your own username. As far as, your home address, there's not really anything to my knowledge that would be shipped to you. So that's another cool thing, unlike Live Good, where obviously you might have to deal with, international shipping or possibly customs things that are added on top. Well, that's kind of wiped out. You only have your discounts on your actual sales pages or your sales offers, which is really, really cool. As far as joining and paying, okay, so for example, ordering and, looking at the team and stuff like that, you can pay a couple ways. You can pay through credit card, Visa, MasterCard, things like that. You can also pay and join through cryptocurrency. As far as getting paid, you can get paid by direct deposit if you live in the United States. You can get paid by e-wallets and set up a credit wallet at the same time or have the credit saved. I believe, and if I remember correctly, I haven't seen it yet because I don't have any money in there. But with Live Good, you were able to create accounts or give accounts away where people can try and become a member and test it out themselves. So I'm hoping that feature is in here as well. So you'd want to have some money in your credit wallet to be able to do that. You can also get paid in cryptocurrency as well, depending on how you have things set up. As far as the team, like I said, you can see the enroller tree. Basically, we would be seeing who's here. So again, come back and check my next video out. I'm going to redo this on Saturday after the matrix has filled to see if I was correct in my assumptions or not. And then same thing, matrix list view, list the active people basically and how they were enrolled. And then we've already seen the power line. My referrals, we looked at that, just a minute ago. We saw the enroller, we saw the leaderboard. And so again, right now the leaderboard is only 20. Hopefully they will add more, but in the beginning, obviously, they want to make sure they show people that have actively promoted. Once the program grows and, there's more people, maybe, the top 100 people have at least put in 20 people, then obviously they'll expand the leaderboard. But as far as the pre-enrollees, take a look at these. So every single one of these is in the 21st hour, but look at them, then look at the minutes. So 13 minutes and 41 seconds, 13 minutes, 34 seconds. So those people 7 seconds apart, 12 minutes, 55. So that was another, 39 seconds apart. This is 45 or 40 something seconds apart. So people are coming in on average every minute at least. I mean, here's 3 people right here, 4 people right here in the 6th minute of the hour. So just like Live Good, there is some massive, massive growth here that people are very, very interested in saving money. And compared to some of the other programs that are out there, I believe this is a lower monthly price where you're going to get a lot of the same or similar deals. So therefore, you're saving money by getting and paying less on the front end. Okay, so again, click the link. It does you no harm. It's free to pre-enroll. And even if you did join, there is I believe, a 7-day money back guarantee on the monthly. And I believe in the terms and conditions, don't quote me, again, go and read them. You can read the privacy policy and procedures. I believe if you come in at the annual after, or not after, I believe up to 90 days, I believe there is a 50% refund on that up to 90 days. So let's say you come in, you check it out for 90 days. It's not your thing. You still may be able to get some of that money back on the refund policy that they have. But like I said, check the policies and procedures. Don't quote me on that. So everyone is flying into this right now. I don't care what program you work with. If you want to just come in and be a silent partner where you secure a spot and you think that I'm going to do all the work for you, I mean, I hate to let you down. I'm not going to. But like I said, this may be that one time in life that maybe you are in the right position. Okay, I'm feeling it 1,000% right now that, my stars have finally aligned for all the things I've done over the years, that this position has been, basically laid out for me. And I'm going to maximize it to my fullest. I'm going to promote this on top of promoting other things as well, because I like multiple streams of income. I want to take care of myself. I want a bright future. I want to enjoy my life. I have a trip around the world planned for this summer, and I want to be able to get some discounts in different places at the same time. Another cool thing, once you get into the websites, very similar to Live Good, they will be making, I believe, probably more pages that we can land on or opt into. If you do the power line, that's the link I'm going to bring you into right there. You can secure your position. But if you just want to send people straight to the generic page, maybe they want to become a member but not an affiliate. They could always upgrade to an affiliate later. Well, send them to your other link, and then people could actually join. So they're still getting that discount, but maybe they're not actually wanting to promote. That would be the option there. And one of the last things we have here, I believe, because there's no earnings, but I'll show that as well. Statistics is another cool one. I can go into source. So for example, I really just started promoting this today. 25 hits, 9 pre-enrollees, 4 upgrades. That's a pretty good, damn good ratio if I say so myself. Now, disclaimer, I know every single one of those people. I've had a relationship with them. These aren't just rando and random strangers. These are people that I've physically connected with in the past. I've had a relationship with. I've helped one way or another. I've connected with. And so they trust me. Okay, so keep that in mind when you go out and start working. One of the things to remember, if we do go back into that website link, do not obviously spam. So they don't want you just spamming your links everywhere. So this is almost tied perfectly to Live Good's procedures. So no purchase traffic. Okay, I want to point that out. If you come in, do not do purchase traffic. Don't do solo ads, or some other thing that people are going to blast your link, because that gets a lot of fake emails, that gets a lot of spam complaints. People forget that they opted in because half the time they're not paying attention, and then that looks bad on the company. So Save Club then gets the spam, which then hurts their email autoresponder system, and their method of being able to get through the email providers like Gmail and Hotmail and things like that. So make sure you're doing this appropriately. Every single one of those people that I have sponsored so far has come through Facebook Messenger. Okay, so a little tip and strategy: reach out to your friends, reach out to your partners, reach out to people you've done business before with, reach out to your, anyone that you've sponsored into something else, reach out to your sponsor. Maybe your sponsor is not aware of this and you can actually sponsor them in this. Okay, I've done that before. I've been sponsored by someone in one company, and then now I've sponsored them into something else because I developed a relationship with them, because they saw me take action. So the key thing as well is make sure you are taking action. If you take action, they are going to notice that. They are going to recognize that, because when you succeed, they obviously succeed. So they are benefiting from your work. So make sure you take action. They're going to love that. Okay, I love it when I see people having success and starting to rank up and basically get their first sales, or maybe their 10th sale, and make it to that next level. So I want that same for you, but again, I got to remind you, take massive action. At the same point, if you just want to come in and just get a position and see what happens over the next couple months, I'm good with that too. Okay, but keep in mind, you won't be able to match on anyone because you haven't sponsored anyone. I've already filled that first two and possibly second row, so I'm going to be matching 6 times, okay, which is a really cool feature. So if we go back up to the tab here, and I have a handful that have joined me as actual members. So if I had these top 3 here and these top 3, they filled me first, and then anyone that Mac and other people have sponsored will go underneath that. Or if anyone else joins me between now and tomorrow night, we're going to fill these first 3 rows. Okay, if you can be in the top 3 rows with me, you may be in for some really, really, really fun times over the next couple months. Okay. And so you have to remember, if I have these top 6, not only do I earn on the total volume, but then this person here is going to have a total volume, and I'm going to earn a matching check on that. This person here is going to have a total volume, and I'm going to match on that. So is this one, so is this one, so is this one, and then the bigger one over here as well. The more people you sponsor, remember, the more you match, the greater ability you have to rank up, obviously. The greater and more you rank up, the more generations you open in the compensation plan. So for those of you that have made it 32 minutes and a half, congratulations to you. I think that you're dedicated. I think you should just lock arms with me and just go click that button right now and pre-enroll and even just upgrade. Okay, jump in and just say ready, fire, aim, right? Get in there, do it, and then we'll figure it out later. I am still figuring this out. I don't have all the answers, but I will continue to research and learn so that I understand it better. And even that, I might still not, especially when it comes to the compensation plan. So when it comes to earnings, you can set up your payment option. Like I said, you can do direct deposit. You can do, you can keep it in-house in the credit wallet. So maybe you have the ability to buy things later or create accounts for other people. You can send it to a credit wallet. So if you want to set up and transfer to the credit wallet, credit wallet there, pay plan description. So when I look at view my rank, right now, I am ranked 1 star. Okay, I am 1 star. So see this yellow line? I was unranked first. And in order to get to the 1st star rank, you need to sponsor 2 people. Okay, and so I sponsored 2 people already. Well, I've actually sponsored 4 people. So I'm actually 4 out of 20 on the way to becoming ranked 2 stars. Now, each star rank allows you, again, more opportunity for other generational matches, which is part of the compensation plan. So if we click on the pay plan, just to show you a little bit, again, I'm not the expert here. I would recommend doing your due diligence, research, find out as much as you can about this. So right now there are, and this could always change, okay, any program can change their compensation plan. Okay, even Live Good changed to add stuff and tweak stuff, and they're still modifying a little bit as they continue to grow. Live Good is adding in the fundraising portion, which like I said, I again am all in on Live Good, and I can't wait to promote the fundraising aspect of Live Good. And at the same time, I'm excited to promote something that people can save money with. Okay, I love getting a discount. I love going to thrift stores. I love getting I get so much knowledge in books from the thrift stores, from library sales, thriftbooks.com. I like saving money because the more money I have, the more money I can spend elsewhere and enjoy and live a good life. So first thing is generational matches. That is for anyone you personally sponsor. Okay, it is $19.97 a month to be a member in Save Club, and then it is a one-time $60 registration fee. Okay, from that, so basically let's round it up and we'll call it $80. You earn a 25% fast start commission on that first month. Okay, doesn't matter if they came in on the monthly or the annual, you're going to earn that amount. However, I'm not gonna go through every little step here. I'll let you do that on your own. There is actually a kind of slide scale. So depending on how you're ranked, if you're a first star, second, third, fourth, and fifth, or we see it here as well, you actually start to earn additional percentages. The higher you rank, the greater percentages you can earn. Okay, so I'm not going to go into total detail there. But basically, there is a range above that $20 that you can actually earn. So I believe there was something up there. I believe it's actually 20 up to an additional amount. So an additional $12. I believe it ranges from 20 up to $32 that you can earn on each person that is enrolled. Okay, depending on your rank. Now, next thing, the generational overrides. You can also earn, again, on generations. So if I sponsor you and you sponsor someone else, I'm going to earn a portion or a percentage of that because I sponsored you. And again, that's another kicker. If you just come in just to get a spot and you hope that there's massive spillover, yeah, you may make some money and maybe you cover your membership, maybe even double what you invested. But you're not going to match on any of those. So right now, I'm trying to match as many people as I can in the beginning so that everyone that falls under, I get lots of matches. But if I waited and sponsored people at the very, very end, let's say I waited like a week and, my first 4 rows got filled by spillover, then my 4 people are way down at the bottom and I don't match on any of them. I mean, technically I do, but there's no one underneath them, if you know what I mean. Because the spillover went down, 3, 4, 5 levels, and then my people went on the 5th or 6th level. There's no one beneath them until I continue to promote and continue to work. So jumping in on me right now, again, April 24th, if you're watching this and you've gotten almost 40 minutes in with me, click the button. Click the link below and get in on this, pre-enroll, register, check it out for a month or 2. If you don't like it, then, I believe you will always be, if it works like Live Good, I believe if you pay the registration fee, you are forever entitled to be an affiliate of the program. You would just lose out on the matrix part because you're not actually an active member. And I believe you'd also lose out the ability to get your discounts. So keep that in mind as well. So there are examples here on how the generational matching works. If someone sponsors someone who sponsors someone who sponsors someone, you may build up multiple commissions along that path, okay, to increase the amount of money that's available to you. Now, just like Live Good, if you are not ranked, you could have 12 levels full. Now, again, disclaimer, I want to throw out 12 levels full, if I remember my math when I was doing it with Live Good, is 8,000 people. Okay, there's no way you should expect someone else to put 8,000 people below you. Can it happen? Yes, it has happened for a couple people in Live Good, or someone slid into a position because someone left and their matrix was more full. But even some of the top leaders don't have a complete full matrix. Maybe their first 5 or 6 are totally full, and then they might have a really big section that's grown off of one of the legs or 2 of the legs, and then they're still filling their 7th or 8th line. Okay, so it's really, really hard, but the ability to match on many of these is what you need to consider, because as more people come down, you can earn more. So as you're a 1st star, 2nd star, 3rd, 4th, and above, you can earn all the way down to 16 levels, which would max out at $65,000. Okay, just thinking of that is crazy. But the fact of doing even just 12 rows at 4,000 is pretty freaking sweet too. And the difference is because obviously it's 50 cents a person. 2.5% of the $20 a month membership amounts to 50 cents. So every single person that is in there, you earn. And then I believe there's also generational matches on top of that as well. So again, as far as how that works, I'm not going to give you the exact breakdown, but with the generational matching, okay, notice again, there's a range of percentages that you can earn based on what star you are actually existing at. So if you're a 1st star, obviously your matching bonus on whatever someone else made in the matrix is 20% plus 12, so 32%. If you are a 5 star, you earn the 20%. You're going to earn 5%, 4, 3, 2, and 1, all the way down. So you have multiple options to earn off of people who have been sponsored by someone else, who have been sponsored by someone else, and by someone else. Okay, that's what's really meant by the generational matching, is that you're going to get multiple generations of match. And so the higher you rank, obviously, the more that comes in. And again, I'm just learning this myself here, kind of on the spur of the moment as I'm doing this video. I looked at it briefly earlier, but there's a wide range that you could earn. Again, it pays to rank up. A major difference between Live Good and this one with the payment is that if someone comes in at the annual, you get a $10 bonus. If they are a 2nd generation member. So, I sponsored Tom, who sponsored Steve. Well, Tom gets the $10 and I get the 5. Okay, Steve joined, Tom sponsored him, so he's the 1st generation. He gets 10. It's my 2nd generation, so I get $5. Mac, who sponsored me, is going to get $3. For someone 2 levels down, just as an extra thing because someone decided to come in at the annual. And again, that's on top of all the other matching bonuses and all the other things that exist. Then as they say, the coup de grace, or the top one, what everyone wants to reach for, whether you are called a diamond, crown diamond, or whatever colors they throw in there with the diamond scheme of things. In this case, they've kept it simple so far. And maybe this is something that changes when they do the official launch, but we have, 2, 3, 4, and 5 stars. This is super, super freaking awesome. Okay, to be a 2-star person. If you remember a little bit ago, I don't think it was on this page, but if I will open it up again in another window, if we go into my rank, right now I'm 1 star. So if I get a total, and this is cool too. I'll show you these in a minute. Maybe I'll open up in another window right now. So to rank advance, I have 4 people already, so I am 1 star. Must have personally enrolled 2 members. To be 2 stars, I must have 20 active members in my enroller tree, with no more than 6 coming from any individual. Okay, right now I only have 4. Okay, that number, where are we here? Right there. So I'm slowly, at 1 person it was here, 2 people, 3, and 4. That's going to match up because it's the same for both of these. So I got 4 out of 20 people so far. They have not sponsored anybody else, so that number has stayed at 4. Now, if they each sponsored 1 other person, then this number would say 8 out of 20. Okay, if they each came in and sponsored 2 people, then obviously I would have 12 out of 20. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So when you're looking at that number, all 12 of those people would technically belong to my enroller tree. Now, I might have hundreds of people below me, but they're not technically in my enroller tree. So you have to consider that. That's going to be something that you need to consider, I guess, when you are thinking about how your commissions work out. Okay, obviously you have to consider the whole matrix. You're going to earn on everyone in the matrix regardless of who put them there. But if you don't sponsor people, then obviously there's differences in matching bonuses and generations. Okay, so if no one else has been sponsored by you, then obviously that number is going to be based on only the work that you did. So 2 stars, I am hoping that, I got a week left in May. I'm hoping by May I will be a 2-star. And so here, this is awesome. Okay. I don't have to wait until I am diamond to take part in the monthly leadership bonus pools. The club is going to set aside a full 4% of the total revenue from everything. The total revenue includes new affiliate signups, monthly and yearly memberships. Once you achieve 2-star rank or above, and well, here's an important piece to understand. They want you to be active. They don't want you to show up and then stop. A lot of people come in, put a lot of people in, and then disappear. And then they just think, the growth of the company, they're not going to do anything else, and they're good to go. So one of the stipulations is, yes, they are lowering it, but as long as you enroll just one new member for that month, you get a bonus pool. So 1% is going to be shared amongst all the 2 stars. 1% is going to be shared amongst all the 3 stars, 1% all the 4 stars, and then 1% amongst all the 5 stars. Okay, this is not cumulative. So notice they're paid out each month with other monthly commissions. Each affiliate will participate in the bonus pool of their rank. In other words, a 4-star does not also earn the 2-star and the 3-star. Okay, because that would be a lot of money, and then obviously the company would lose. So details on rank qualification, we just saw that. Actually, no, sorry, I just pulled that up. So 20 people. So right now I only technically have 4. Even like I said, if 100 people get placed under me tomorrow night, I still only have 4 for my rank, because only 4 are actually my personally enrolled people. Once I start sponsoring more and once they start to sponsor more, then that number can start to grow and expand exponentially. To be a 3-star, I need 100. Notice there are some other stipulations. No more than 30 coming from an individual leg. So same thing this. I can't rely on more than 6 from an individual leg. So let's say I had my 4 people, didn't sponsor anyone, maybe sponsored 1 or 2. And so now they sponsored 1 or 2, I'm up to 6. And this person came in and went crazy and sponsored like 30 people. Okay. So instead of saying I have, 36 or almost 40 people, I can only count 6 or a certain amount from one leg. So that would be one of those legs where it says from any individual enroller tree leg. Okay, each person you sponsor is like its own leg in its own little tree. So keep that in mind when you're trying to figure out, if you're looking and you're wondering, okay, why hasn't, my rank gone up? I have more people in there. Well, start taking some more action and tell your people to start taking some more action, and then you will start to see some nice growth. So one of the cool things to be a 5-star, obviously you need 2,500. So let's just focus on this. 100 active members to be a 3-star. Already, I don't know where our leaderboard went, our leaderboard there. Mac already 92. He's pretty darn close already. He's also already one of the top ones to become a 3-star. So he's already at the end of the month going to be making, where'd those go here? We lost them, but, right here. He's already going to be making some of the bonus pools. Now, if you were familiar with some of the bonus pools in Live Good, especially in the beginning, when some of the people just started and there was only a few diamonds and then a few crown diamonds, talking anywhere from 2 to 3 to 10 to $50,000 a month. So again, I cannot guarantee any of that, But if you're here on the 49th minute, still wondering what the heck it is I'm talking about this far, we've seen a lot of the members area. I've gone a lot longer than I expected, but I hope I gave you a really good overview. And I want to remind you, anyone that comes in this weekend and, definitely next week, but really this weekend, is going to be able to secure those very, very top spots. So as this video is being filmed and rendered, let's see if I go to my team and my enroller tree. Yeah, so I got 4 people that I've enrolled. So that means this spot is full of mine, this one is full, and then if it fills the same way Live Good does, then it goes to the left and then it comes back to the right. Then it would go to the left here and then back to the right. So if I only do the 4 people and nobody else, they got this spot and this spot, this spot, and this spot, then Mac is going to be overflowing into me this spot, then this spot. Then it will be here, and then it goes here, and then back over to the right. Then it comes back over to the left, and then goes to this left, and over this side, and then back to this one and back to this one. So it alternates back and forth. It's not just left to right. It balances it so that people on each side end up getting equal amounts over time. From like the level above them, they each will get one on their left, and then this one on the left, and then it will come to the right of that person, and then the right over here. Hopefully that makes sense. So as time goes on, I will be putting out more content on this. Lock in with me. I can't say it enough. Again, I've never been one to make guarantees, except, again, that if you don't do anything, you're not going to make and see any success. But if there was a time where our stars are aligned, right now this is it. And I'm going to come back and, I'll take my foot out of my mouth if I'm not right on Saturday morning when I see the results. So look below, click that link, and I look forward to working with you and helping you out any way I can. Again, this has been Dave Gardner. Take care.